What's up, guys? Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Sprout Saga Healer Time. How's it going, everybody? Hexia, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I started an early one for you. How's it going, Sarge? Also here. We are doing the role quest for healer today. So I hope I got the thumbnail right. I did look it up, but who knows? Maybe it's wrong. But Dorbay will not be joining me pretty much the entire week. He is house sitting, dog sitting. Man's always sitting, you know what I'm saying? So he should be doing whatever he's doing. But these quests take pretty much the entire time. So we're just probably going to jump right into it. I think I'm going to play Sage today because it's close to leveling up. And hopefully I'll get it to 89. And then if we get to the 90 quest, I do have an Astrologian. So it'll be perfect. No warm-up. Nothing. Just raw dogga solo duty. But okay. Excuse me. Okay. Also, I'm wearing the Scholar outfit. I think this one was my favorite out of all the healers that they designed so far. But, alright. We're talking to the Alamegan delegate. Yep, I was right. From what I saw, this one's more about Fordola than it is about, like Lise or anybody else. Okay. Yeah, sure, don't protect him. We all know he's taking a week-long nap. That's what I'm saying. He's always sitting. Sitting or laying down or... Give him crap in Discord. He deserves it. Alright, Alamegan delegate. Oh, yeah, we said we were going to find out what happened to Ardbert. And I guess Raban will be in this one, too. The Alamegan delegate to Radzit Han has grim news to convey. If you're ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. Yeah, what you got? Also, the music in this zone, in Radzit Han, there's some bopping songs. Oh, hold on, sorry. It's telling me something. Also, I reduced the latency, so you guys should be able to like respond pretty quick. This is saying I'm giving too many bits. It's saying we recommend. Yeah, I can reduce the bits. I'm giving YouTube too many bits apparently, because I'm giving them 30K and they're saying I only need to give them 13. So let me adjust that real quick. How does it look, by the way? I know it's no longer 4K. It's 1440, so it should be pretty decent. I didn't even look myself. I can't tell the difference. That's insane. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if the bits do anything, I don't think it's bad to give more bits, is it? I don't know. Back to the quest. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamego. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. It's like YouTube's like freaking out at me, so okay. Fine. Adjust my bits. Didn't see your last MSQ stream yet, so I'm not sure if you finished Endwalker right now. So let me ask, how was it? Hexia, it was amazing. We did finish. We are done. We fought Xenos, and that was my favorite part, was Xenos like showing up at the end and being like, yo, actually, like, I told you I'd show up at the end for this fight. And then he does, and then you fight him, and then he's like, nuh-uh, I want to fight again. And so then you fight him again. And then, like, it was just awesome. We didn't know, like, we had no clue Emmett and Hythlo Bro were going to show up. That was completely unexpected. That was pretty cool. The dungeon was dope. The trial was pretty great, too. There's a lot of Doom. Have a banana, let us die to a lot of Doom. What else? What else? I'm trying to remember, because I fried my brain yesterday because I was doing a Realm Reborn Relic grind for 5.5 hours. So my brain was pretty fried. What else? I mean, obviously everybody gets saved at the end, which was nice. Well done, Banana. He asked us, he said, do you want the easy way or the hard way? We're like, let us experience it. and neither of us noticed the doom, and it was on the first boss fight of the dungeon, and we were just like, gonk, both dead. But it's okay, because Ginger died with us. So, but yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. The quests were great. The rounding out of the whole story. I think I kind of talk about this. You'll probably see a short sometime. How at the beginning of the there he is. There's the Ginger Man. At the beginning of A Realm Reborn, you start with Alphino and Alice in the wagon with you, and then at the end of Endwalker, the two people to get you to the final place is Alphino and Alice together. I just thought it was very, like, poetic. I thought they did a very good job. I really enjoyed that. I loved Endwalker. I think Shadowbringers just peaked so high, and then Endwalker just kind of stayed up there. But it couldn't peak. I mean, it's crazy for me to say that the final days couldn't peak higher than what Shadowbringers did, which should tell you how good Shadowbringers is. So, I don't know. I'm still kind of making up my mind what I like more. Because we did a lot of victory laps in Endwalker. But we also did in Shadowbringers, I guess, because, well, during the patches. The patches bothered me to get back. But, all right. All right, enough distraction for a second. Let me at least get us to get to the right location. With most of our heroes posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. I would be glad to help. Once again, we're in your debt. We shall inform Commander Alden forthwith.
My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to give you watching over them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined the Alamegan allies in the hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Pagalathan. For that reason, we too have been glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure.
As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamegan quarter and report for duty. Commander Alden is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Rauga grant you strength. Strengths. Grant them strengths.
You cried during the walk, and you were sobbing when Emmett and Hythobro appeared again. Honestly, it was pretty great. Emmett was still such a sassy bitch, and it was so great. I loved how bitter he was. It was so funny. You were sitting here crying ugly and yelling, "Stop ripping my heart out by bringing it back, stupid game!" Freaking Yoshi P just playing on my heartstrings, you bastard. I love that. That's so good. He said Raugers, right? No, he said the Alamegan quarter. We're gonna go hunt them in the streets. So good. Honestly, I was so happy. I was happy, but I was really excited that their whole messaging at the very end was like, you're gonna have more adventures. Like, even, like, for you guys, you didn't know what you were gonna get. You didn't know about Dawn Trail, you didn't know about Evercold. You were just like, what's coming next? You have no idea. This is the end of the story. And so for them to be like, don't worry, you're gonna have more adventures, like, don't worry, was pretty nice. Sorry, drinking an energy drink. I got a lot of talking to do. That's why I gotta keep rolling. Keep rolling. Where the frick is this place? Come, Greg. Freaking dirty streets. I feel like Rodzit Han is what I wanted Alamigo to be, color-wise. You know what I mean? I feel like Alamigo is just some of the most gray and brown poopness I've ever seen.
Ah, Master Takai, we were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Alden you've arrived. One moment, please.
Ginger, how's the latency, by the way? I tried to lower it, seeing if it's good for you guys. Glad you could join us.
down!
It's the go! This guy dices potatoes. Professional potato dicer.
Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may and must turn our undivided attention to matters of smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait.
Looking good?
As our man in Thavnia will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Alamigo.
Look at that thing.
Et chupacabra. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. As was the case in Thavnia, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer.
Are you certain it's a blasphemy? Did anyone see the change take place?
Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamigan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into a monstrosity we now pursue. But beyond that fact, he was a young Highlander. We know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues as to his name or his background. For all we know, he might not have been even born in Alamigo. Might have been the son of a refugee come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair. Whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent future tragedies, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death.
If anyone's sad, you better stop being sad. The killings will continue until the sadness stops.
For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it?
Sure, yeah.
You have my thanks. And as chance would have it, we've just received word from a number of beasts were spotted in the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there.
Sir, yes, sir.
Rebon.
Why calling on my internet connection? No, I was just curious because like I reduced the latency, so I was hoping it was closer. Oh, you mean for the Doom? I'm just saying I strive to be like my mentor, and my mentor was floor taking, so I was floor taking. That's all I'm saying. The whole Endwalker message was, in short, no matter how hard your life gets, never give in to despair, always hold on to hope. And that coincides that we are all in lockdown. Yeah, that would probably be pretty great. And that's just a good message in general. Like, that is something that is timeless. I think that should be a message that everyone kind of abides by and lives by. Not sure how I'll feel finishing Endwalker this time around. Yeah, it might be a little different. I mean, arguably, there's some bleak times right now. So, it's not like we're locked inside, but it's still other things. Didn't know how long we'd have to deal with it. Yeah, not knowing when it was going to end for sure would probably be a problem. The walk will be interesting. Yeah, the walk will be interesting because it'll be your second time around. Stop feeling sad or else you'll be taken behind the shit. Otherwise, we're going to send you up north to a farm. Where'd my cousin go? He was just a little sad yesterday that he couldn't get like an extra biscuit in the lunch line. Yeah, unfortunately, we had to send him up to the farm up north. You mean to Garlemald? Ooh, don't want to go to that farm. All the way up here, huh? Hopefully everything's going well. Okay. South we go. You know, I actually really enjoyed doing quests. Oh, this is... You know what's funny? I had never seen this before. I was just about to say I enjoyed, like... Oh my gosh. I actually enjoyed coming around here and, like, exploring and stuff. And then I found a spot that I've never seen before. That's hilarious. This is a nice little fishing spot, maybe. Pretty good view, actually. Yeah. I don't know, this zone was better than I thought it was going to be.
Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and call them the lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds, and while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me there.
Just... Does this count? No. Does this count? No. I guess I have to talk to him. Okay, this is... I had to literally click A on him. We send people who are very sad to the Tower of Babel. They'll be changed for the better, don't worry. Hold on, you're Ruark, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. And now you've come to save me in our hour of need? I'll never forget this. Thank you, thank you. Alright, calm down. Not even a healer, man. Doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm not angry enough to be a healer main. I'm dumb enough to be a DPS main, though. Like, that's the truth. Which is probably why I also like tank. Because tank is just like, you know, undying DPS. Melee DPS. I saw them chained right before my eyes. Those were monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect, and thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. Yeah, or you'll be called a murderer. One of the two. Hexia, I'm angry enough to be a healer, man. See? That's what I'm saying. She knows. It's true. You know what's funny is it's not even just this game. I think most games you have to have a chip on your shoulder to be a healer. Like any of the hero shooters, like I'm playing Marvel Rivals, and every time I play healer, I'm just mad at everyone. Well, the healer job made me angry enough to do it. Which came first? Did the healer job make me angry, or was I angry so I chose the healer job? Which one? Alright, Sean Bean. I don't have a good Sean Bean voice. I'll be honest with you.
For treating the wounded of those soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. It seems that they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant.
Hey, look, Artbert's in the background in his wheelchair. He looks like Professor X or something.
I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of their transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken.
I can't remember our voice for Arnfeld. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Ruark. He's gonna sound a little bit like this, a little bit like Ringo. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitations, but
It gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned.
Ragenfred. What a name.
I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us?
The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help.
Help how?
Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lys held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Giribania. It spurred us into an open dialogue with the peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. We were racist before, but now our hearts have been opened. But there's still so many problems to be addressed and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire.
I don't know why he just made me sleepy, but damn.
For whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the Crania Lupi.
The crane-eating loopy? Are those the wolf people? But I thought you despised the skulls.
You've changed your tune.
Yeah, you guys were kind of racist before.
Make no mistake, I've not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they swear to serve the Empire, and the answer was simple. Because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Guardians win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who'd pledged allegiance to Garlemald. This is not the Alamigo we dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today.
I've been acting as a mediator.
Aye, and in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself natural. And despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? Yes. It comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're returning us away. It's a sensitive matter, though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard.
Okay. Healer was the last role I started back in the days, and at the beginning I was so scared to screw up. I feel that. That was kind of what I did. But after a while, as a healer, you'll begin to notice how stupid some people are playing, and the rage slowly starts. So straight up, like, I can see when the tank's not using their mitigation. Like, if I'm having to heal extra on a tank, I know it's because they're not using their mitigation. And then I look up, and sure enough, they're not using it. They're just getting punched in the head. And they're just taking it. That's funny that you say that. You, like, see how other people play, and you're like, you're doing it wrong. And once you're in, you don't come out. Never a truer quote. I rarely heal, but I'm not at far in to get angry. Yeah, no, Ginger, you're too chill. Honestly, Ginger, you're too chill. When I see poor healing, thinking I could have done better. Entitled. That's just edgelord. That's the edgelord in you. You think you could do it better than anybody else. I get that. I have the same problem. I probably can't, but I still think I can. As I'm over here laying on the floor watching the healer heal everyone else, I'm like, I could do better than that. As I'm floor tanking. Alright, I might have to pick something different for Arnveld. He's going to be around a lot. Let's see. Maybe just make it less dopey. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo, I'll not pretend I understand it. But let us what you learn. But tell us what you learn. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. That guy's got Sid's hair? It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them. But they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he's branded a traitor. Every day his son listening to the jeering, the insults. But there's nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope that it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and the murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. That would be kind of depressing. I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. The sins of their kin weigh heavily on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. Okay, I'm sorry. Every time I do that voice, it like makes me tired. One sec. Wake up. I still remember some of my favorite players, like the stupidest Dragoon that stood in every collecting vulnerability stacks like they were Pokemon cards. And he's like, why didn't you heal me? You needed to learn. That's why. You needed to learn what you were doing. Alright. Come on, old man. Stop putting me to sleep. He does look kind of sad. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. You're right, Arnveld. We gotta figure this out. Growing up half Guardian in Alamega, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or as eloquent as someone like Alfino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart, and I owe it to Abba, and Auli to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts of blasphemies ravage Gearbonia again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'll be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Okay. Now that we have Ruach on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beast we encounter. Though I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear. I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Sure. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. Me sitting and yelling, "You stupid dumb idiot! You got 8 bone stacks and you'll drop dead when the boss just looks at you." You literally bathing in the yellow AoE piss circles. Like, get out of there. Funny you say that. I only choose to be a favorite when Jordan. He's so nervous when he heals. It's so funny. That's why when he heals, I'm like, I'll play tank. That way, if I die, like, he doesn't, like, it's just me. Normally, I heal for him when he plays tank. A sentence I hate the most from Melee is, "But my uptime." Sucks to suck. That's the problem with playing Melee. You have to balance the uptime with also not standing in an AoE. Are we going back to the Alamigan Quarter? Are they going to have us go back and forth and back and forth? Probably. Probably. All right, let's see. What's worse is they're like, all right, it's going to be the Alamigan Quarter, but it's not going to be next to the teleportation. You're going to have to, like, get over there as I run into the wall.
Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who would convince me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we could be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital, though our problems are not anew. The emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer, and we will be better for it, ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Rauger watch over you and keep you. The Butcher's Blade.
Is this gonna, like, I feel like we're gonna pull Fordola here in a minute. I feel like she's supposed to be more of the concentration than Raban, because we already kind of did Raban's story. So hopefully Fordola's gonna be able to help us walk this line of garlic and non-garlic. We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to the Commander Alden at once.
You're a welcome sight as always, Ruark.
Aye, and a lot's happened since we last spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy.
As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we've little show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else has been better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Girabonia, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true in the recent incident in Alagana, we cannot have people jumping to conclusions given what they may feel tempted to do. It has been suggested that we take these individuals into custody, for their own protection as much as for the safety of the others. But that would only isolate them even further, and give credence to the rumors. The recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in this endeavor, and see if there is aught that can be done.
Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. I thought I felt my ears burning.
I said I don't need a keeper, but did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks?
Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Ruach. He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken too mean otherwise.
Thick as thieves, are we now? Then there's no need for this soldering collar, aye? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon, but if this is how it is to be, then fine. So long as he keeps out of my way.
I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Alakana. Several relatives of the Crania Lupi have agreed to meet with them, and we should do with a measure of precaution.
If anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Let's get this over with. Boom, boom. She's as much at risk of turning as anyone. Maybe even more so. You don't need the echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades. So look out for her, please. Will do. I wish there was more I could do for her help, for myself. Do for her myself. But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end.
So must we all. Follow Fodola's lead. We're counting on you both. But be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it.
Sweet. That should be interesting. Alright, we're going back to Alagana. Back to Alagana. Can you imagine if I couldn't fly here? That'd be so sad. I had a feeling Raban would send you, Ruach, but as for her... If you got any complaints, take it up with the commander. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop. You don't want to say that. I don't want to hear it. To the matter at hand, then. We Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Crania Lupi, but one family has gone missing. Her mother and her parents, who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen. And when they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claws, by the look of them. You think they've turned? Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. Alright. Find the family. Yeah, no, don't mind me. I'm just going to fly to the top of the waterfall to see if they're up here. Seems like a legit place to check. Oh, that's a large monster.
honestly, like, Sage is so good. Like, I saw Half a Banana made a comment on the vote of what your favorite healer is. And he's talking about how Sage just has, like, burst healing that can put, like, White Mage to shame. And that's the honest truth, is, like, I feel like White Mage needs a little bit of a rework. There's just not much going on for the White Mage. In the dirt, you spy an envelope containing a crumpled tear-stained letter. Tear-stained letter. Sure, I'll read it. It's not illegal in this world to read other people's mail.
Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I have never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Until then, take care, and know that I love you with all my heart.
Placing this letter back into the envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. I wonder if it would have, like, said anything if I didn't read it. Like, would I be able to complete the quest, or would it be like, you gotta read the letter? But yeah, I think Alamigo is a pretty cool place with some weird ass, like, look at these, like, structures and stuff. Like, I think the only thing I could ask more from it is, like, more greenery, but it's, like, kind of a high desert, so it's not supposed to be green. Oh, there it is. Is anybody here? Oh no, it should just stay. Nice. Sage is just kind of classy too. I kind of like it. The time-worn wedding ring. This doesn't look good. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring with a name and a date engraved on the side. On the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Ragnfrid. He might know the name at least. I was so used to flying to the crystal to lick it that I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go lick that real quick. I'm like, I've been here. I've been here for like 3 expansions. Were you able to find anything? Yeah, I found a letter and a ring. Do you know either of these people? Because they were both monsters. Then it is as we feared. I found and killed the third. It was carrying this. A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to their next of kin and arrange for a funeral. Or as close to one as possible under the circumstances. Yeah, we found the family. It didn't turn out well. There's no changing the past. We always carry it, and the scars. But no matter who we were or what we did, we're Alamegans. Then, and now. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. Oh, it was pretty good, Ragnfrid. Well said. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies.
I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order.
Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it.
Oh, okay.
Keep this to yourselves. But Everett's younger brother was a member of the Cranialupi. He's he's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help.
Oh,
Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first, but after we've gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well.
oh, look at my chin. It's a big butt chin. Oh no. She makes me feel bad. It's her, the butcher.
Triggered.
Traitors, all of us. Kingslayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. Oh no, I'm gonna...
Get back! Get back! Burn, 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 burn. Wow. Talk about a quick character turn. The dude literally showed up and was like,
I'm done working. And he's like, good, go take a break. And he's like, I'm gonna turn into a monster.
Get wrecked. Fordola just single sliced you. And protected the child. That really sucks, though. That really sucks. They're going to really rub it in this time. Fordola's going to have a hard journey.
Stay away from her.
Did you not just see her, like, take a giant slash from the monster to the back?
Fordola saved your girl's life. Ungrateful bitch.
I know, but she's...
It's fine. Whatever. Didn't even care.
It happened in an instant. That poor lad.
Don't you fall to despair. I'll send you to that farm up north.
But it had to be done. Without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. It's fine. He kind of sucked at his job. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here.
Aye, Captain. Fordula, let me heal you. So far, you're at 85 MSQ finally for James. The moon sucked more than the Garlic Land for questing. Jeez. Do you think it's just because of the, like, you can't fly? And so, like, the zones are just that much bigger, and you're trying to do all the quests? And maybe because you just kind of watched us do all this kind of stuff? So it's not, like, fresh eyes for you? After everything's said and done, Fordola is one of my favorite characters. Flaws and internal conflict and all. Well, usually that's what makes a good character. Characters that don't have a lot of, like, opposition to push up against, or, like, arcs to learn or to change, become boring. And honestly aren't that interesting of characters, right? Like, to be honest, one of my... Well... So, I don't know how... I'm sure you guys have heard of Avatar: The Last Airbender. They did something in the live action that kind of screwed up Sokka's character arc. Because Sokka, at the very beginning, was kind of sexist, and he was a young 14-year-old boy or whatever, and he thought, you know, I'm the man of the village, the man has to do all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. And then they get to Kyoshi Island, and he's presented with a society that's, like, opposite, where the women are the warriors, and the men aren't. And it kind of turns his world upside down and kind of makes him consider those things and really learn a lesson about, like, anybody can really do anything, and you just support strength where you see strength. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a man or a woman, right? So it's like a huge lesson that he learns, right? They completely, like, took that out in the live action. They just immediately made Sokka, like, have that lesson already learned, and so then his character kind of became boring, and he wasn't as funny, because, like, Sokka says a lot of dumb, funny stuff that gets him into trouble, that makes it funny, and so, like, they kind of just nuked his character. So you see that with characters all the time. So, like, Fordola is an interesting character, because she's going through a lot. She's been through a lot. I mean, our Stormblood arc with her was insane, the stuff that she had to do and go through. So it makes her a lot more interesting, and we're much more interested in, like, how does her story go what happens to her than, you know, somebody else that's just boring and didn't have much of a story. A pay cut might cause people to turn. You're getting a demotion. No! I don't know much about Avatar, but I've heard that Sokka's girlfriend was the moon or something. Yeah, that happens later. Which is probably not a good thing, I guess. It was a good thing. You're kind of getting... Yeah, it's... Yeah. Oh, the zone broken up without flying is annoying. Yeah, I feel that. No, so Sokka's girlfriend's... That's the entire, like, first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Basically, he goes to the Northern Water Temple. This is after he meets Suki. Like, he doesn't hook up with Suki till way later. But they kind of skip that part, too, because, like, screw them. Anyway, he goes to the Northern Water Temple, and he is, like, they're the delegation from the Southern, so, like, they kind of treat them, like, as royalty. And so he gets to be, like, the personal bodyguard of the princess. When the princess was born, she was, like, born not breathing. So they prayed to the moon god and said, give her life. So the moon god gave some of the life to the girl. So the girl's hair turned white, and she lived to be this old. At this point, they're like 16 or whatever. And so then they get to that point, and then like some bad stuff happens, and the moon god gets like killed, kind of. And spoilers, by the way. And so the princess has to take the power that the moon god gave her, and she sacrifices herself and gives that power back to the moon god, and basically becomes the moon god, right? And so Sokka's first girlfriend becomes the moon god. Like, it's kind of depressing, but it's good. Honestly, if you haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animation, go watch it. It is by far one of my favorite animes of all time. And people will be like, it's not an anime. It's an anime. Just let it be an anime. Go watch it. You'll love it. It's an amazing story. Amazing good people. A lot of messages of hope. Korra's good too, but Korra's definitely a more mature one. Highly suggest you do the other one first. Alright. I'm fine. Leave me be. That's not how this works. I said I don't need your help. It's not only your injuries I'm worried about. More like, I'm a healer. Let me do my job. Gods, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then, and make it quick. Healing, healing, healing. Healing, healing. You are now healed. Coral can't change its spots, and there's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. She's got real, like, Winter Soldier vibes. You know, like Bucky. Sorry, Marvel's been on the mind. Taking up Guardian Steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier. Till I stopped counting. Stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right. It's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as the cannons fires, and when the dust settles and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, you tell yourself... Whoa, 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 whoa. Me too. I won't let it take you. Slap her. That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. Yeah, I kind of figured. I'll be all right. I just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Yeah. Yeah, no, just in case you turn and then I have to put you down. She was pranking you, it's funny. That was a Danny prank. That's what that was. She used the classic Danny maneuver. Wave your hands in the air. It usually works for most of the time. This is how you heal. Everything the Skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did, In the end, it's all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked, and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to different people? Was it always in me to be me? All I know is everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. Yeah, she's really despairing. Surprising she didn't transform. But I was. And I dragged others into hell of my own making. I remember these two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger... He would never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind. Too good. Ansfrid died at Specula Imperatus, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserves. We could go find him. Not all for the Cranialupia at the towers died that day, though. I know from one of my visions that at least one survived. Rudolph, with the red nose. I think he's a reindeer. I'm glad he made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Rauga, I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my reports. I suggest you do likewise. We could go together. No, okay. That's fine. Didn't want to talk anyway. That'll be 2, so that's 85, 86. We need 87, 88, 89, 90. See, I feel like this place could be a lot cooler, and maybe I just need to explore it a little bit more, but it's the same color. Rodsit Han just seems so much more interesting to explore just because it's got so much more color. This is also like a city built into the world instead of just like its own thing, and I think they really should have made it its own thing.
Welcome back. Fodola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours too.
So she almost freaked out because like she caused this other dude to freak out that we had to kill.
So she almost turned into a beast herself.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
We'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again.
No, she should be fine.
As far as the events of the Alagana were concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with a connection to the Cranialupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Uldar as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you.
The quest to protect vulnerable Alamegans leads to Uldar, a new battleground.
Here to see the Commander Alden, I take it. This way, please.
Our request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since we last spoke. The blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair and turn. Even with Alamiga and Udon forces searching for the signs of the beast and more potential victims, we've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us track it down before it strikes again.
We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains that the vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning, without question. Fordola concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. Nah, she deserves a chance to make amends. Besides, I'm there. If anybody needs to put her down, we'll put her down. And then, you know, like, solve the problem a different way. More permanent way, you know? I'm inclined to agree with Ruark. She was able to resist the transformation and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. Give her a chance.
Give them a break, for pity's sake. It'll be the death of the Hobbitses.
If only I could go in her stead.
Yeah, but you're in a wheelchair. You're not going anywhere.
Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana.
I guess you're going with us to meet the Sultan.
I believe she would benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles our people face. You'd gain from the experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion of her own arena, as brave as any warrior. I doubt you have much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance. Arnvild and I will go on ahead and wait for you in Hustings Strip. We'll see you anon.
Hustling strip. Wow.
Husting? Reading is very hard. Ruark doesn't normally read.
Yeah, he does. I read books.
I read things.
I read dialogue for Final Fantasy XIV. That's what I do. So I'm very tempted to go to the casino. Because I might have a bit of a teleport right there. Average view duration was 11:11 for a second. Make a wish. Alright, hustling strip. Hustling strip. We got a strip. Looks like we're in the Chamber of Rule. The Hustings. So I was right, it is Hustings. I thought it was hustling. I am stupid. Okay, confirmed. Can read, but just is dumb and doesn't remember lore. That quest was boring. I'm gonna tell you right now. The Paladin quest was subpar. Could have been better.
Master Papachon was just telling us that Nonimo, or should I say Lady Lilyria, has gone on another of her jaunts about the city.
Of course.
Though it is not my place to question her Grace's judgment, I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own. And perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting.
If I may say so, sir, with blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll.
I suspect that may be the very reason. She wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times.
Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though.
Alright, so we gotta go find her.
No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to...
Come now. We might be here on official business, but we're old friends. And as you may remember, I have a knack for tracking down errant sultanas.
He's like, I had to track her down so many times, dude. Like, come on.
Some might say that knack is a rather charitable. I should be glad of the assistance.
I'll take a look around here. Quizzing the locals will give me an opportunity to learn of the recent going-ons in Old Dart, too. Well then, there's no time like the present. Fear not. With me on the case, this will be over before you know it.
He's like, I'll roll around this room. I think we're probably going to have to play Astrologian at the end of this. It's kind of what it's looking like.
Because it's not giving me enough XP to get an entire level of XP before we get there. Okay. Looks like they want us to go to Sapphire Avenue. You're too accurate with the Lala voice. That's hilarious. I was like doing the voice. I was like, actually, this is a pretty good Lala voice. Like, I was proud of myself too. So thank you.
They're like high pitched and a little squeaky.
It's been some time since I last combed these streets for young Lilira. As a matter of fact, Popashon and I would compete to see which of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favor. The trick, you see, is to not be 2 feet tall. If you're, 6'5", then you can actually see down the street and see all the little potatoes running around. It's to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms. The tiniest movements that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done.
He's like good at like.
Follow my lead.
I freaking love LeBron. No, Rabon.
She's fond of pursuing the stores here.
Look at my umbrella matches that cat. Hey, question for you guys. How do we get the fat cat again? Oh, hold on, actually. Do I already have it? I do. Never mind. I can't do minions right now because I have a Raban.
This way. She's not here. Where could she be? What if she's been abducted?
Uh-oh, he's panicking. Don't panic, Raban. Don't fall to despair.
One of these pots, perhaps?
He's despairing. Raban.
I'll never know how to be this elusive.
You walked one street. My guy, you walked one street. You're giving up after walking one street.
That's odd. I've tried all her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. Gods, why did she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or run afoul of a beast?
Perhaps we could try asking around? Yeah, there's no reason to assume the worst. Let's keep looking. Calm down, sir.
You're right. I know it's hard not to worry. Where could she be? Come to think of it, something Papashon said caught my ear. He thought Nonimo went on an excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemies and the beasts, to better understand how our people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Pearl Lane, then. Might I ask you to lead the way? I'll admit my ability to track missing persons might have dulled somewhat.
Okay, sure. Do I need to talk to you first? There we go. Alright, look at the mannerisms. Look at these dirty Lalafell.
Help wanted, high wages, meals provided.
While it may not be immediately obvious, conditions here have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Garibonia, which has led to the creation of the jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of the Balsaz Wall.
Oh, okay. Let me know in the comments, should I switch the thumbnail to Raban instead of Fordola, or Fordola is the one? I mean, I guess we'll see. Because I just feel like I've been spending a lot more time with Raban. You guys should see the Baymrick thumbnail I made for Dorbay when he finally does the magical ranged one.
In every society, there are the haves and the have-nots, and seldom is this divide more sorely felt than here in Uldar. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in the afternoon than most will in a lifetime.
Dude's just being all sorts of depressing. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Alright, sorry. I did have to sneeze. There she is.
No, Lady Lilira.
Looks like you found her pretty quick.
Raban, whatever are you doing here?
You don't remember that we had a whole meeting set up and you just decided to dress up and go out?
And Ruach too. Well, I am glad to see you both. Our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bells. What is the meaning of this?
We were worried, and with good reason. These are far too dangerous times to be roaming out alone, Your Grace.
Some things never change. But I assure you, I am quite capable of looking after myself in my own city of all places.
Your crime rate is higher than any other city in the entirety of this of Aetheris. Like, I don't know what you mean. You're safe walking these streets.
More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring of late, that I might be better prepared to participate in the discussions later. But I have finished. You will be comforted to hear.
Then pray allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder?
Certainly not. You've already attracted more than enough attention.
Just ride on his shoulder. You can't make his shoulder do anything else. Yeah, so we found him, but Raban was about to give up after one street. That's like the worst dress. Look at that thing.
I thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. And it is my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause.
With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier.
Still, I say, Commander Alden, would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people, and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you came bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims?
We have indeed. Information. Winter is coming.
It's not crime if it's legal. You know what? Touche. That's how you skew the statistics, right? Like, she's like, we got a great crime rate because all the crime is legal.
Hence the need to locate families of Cranialupia members who have fled to Thanalan. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamigan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. But rest assured that irrespective of their pasts, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide.
Magnanimous, as always, Your Grace. I thought you were going to say, let them eat cake. If I might be so bold, I have a question.
What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change?
Well, we have a farm that we can send them to. I believe there is but one recourse. Earnest and open dialogue. While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control, our fate subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead helpless to watch one on as the people starved, a powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my naivety, and then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions, and to love our neighbor and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one.
Truer words were never spoken.
But without the support of the people, such words are not by vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monitors have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground.
Common ground. We've been pouring all of our efforts into aiding families of the Cranialupi, and while it seemed to help to a degree, some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought with the Resistance, or were caught in the middle, they all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester.
The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten, but rather than seek to forget, mayhaps it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost.
Aye, a remembrance. I propose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did, let them be loved, let them be hated, but above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we, the living of Alamigo, may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing together people who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. Then again, we can't keep ignoring the married and the married in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it in the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer you my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together.
Yes.
I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people, winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician, so I'd be grateful for any advice you can share with me.
Why, I would be delighted to. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you.
And on that note, I suggest you and I return to Alamigo. Onveld, you can walk back. Roll back. Day. Your true calling might be to Fonta to Alala soon. Soon. Listen, 2 months less. If we can push it, we will be Lalafels soon. I like how in Final Fantasy time, soon is 2 months. trying to take advantage of how badass I look in all my armors. Though I have decided for Evercold. What are you looking at? I have decided for Evercold that I will be a Rogadin. Because I'm going to embrace the Viking vibes. And then after that, I don't know. We'll have to see what the next expansion holds. I think a switch per expansion is kind of the way I'm going to do it.
I knew Arnveld would make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. Aplomb. And while his proposal memorial ceremony is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but enough, I pray. For our part, we mustn't stand ready for whatever may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments.
Alright, halfway there. Oh my gosh, and he still Sage is 88. It's like so close. Okay. Keep rolling. Like I said, these ones are like almost exactly 3 hours of content. Arnveld wishes to put your considerable reputation to good use, laying the past to rest.
There you are, Ruach. Commander Alden has asked me to convey to you the following information. At present, we are looking into reports of missing relatives of the Crania Lupi, with the cooperation of the Silver Griffins. We're currently searching for any clues as to their whereabouts. Thanks to the concerted efforts of Ragnarfrid and the others, the general public has been willing to cooperate with our investigation. Though many still harbor feelings of distrust for the collaborators and their kin, they've grown more receptive to our cause as a whole. Arnveld's been making steady progress in preparing for the memorial ceremony. He plans to host a meeting between the various community leaders to go over the finer details. In fact, he was wondering whether you could assist in delivering the invitations. If you can spare the time, you should be able to find him in the Mercantile District. Anyway, that's all for now. I have a few matters to attend to, so if you'll excuse me, duty calls.
She always makes sure to salute and then slow walk away. Appreciate that. The rain's making my eyes hurt. It just looks staticky because everything's like the same color. Nobody gave you an umbrella? You can't even like pin one to your chair?
Thanks for coming. It should come as no surprise that planning a memorial ceremony for a whole bloody nation would keep a man busy. But by Rauga, this is something else. The hardest part's been gathering information on those who died in the war, especially when it comes to the skulls and the other conscripts. And they're the ones we need to treat most carefully. If we don't acknowledge the crimes of our kin and all their painful truth, then we do a disservice to their victims living and dead. But if we let people paint them as monsters who did monstrous things we believe we would never do, then we perpetuate a different but no less dangerous lie. As for preparing the event itself, I'll be holding a meeting with members from each of the settlements around Girabonia. I've sent invitations to most of them already, but I was hoping you'd help me with the last two. There's the Mraza Noon, and the Peering Stones, and Sarisha and the Vira Nelia. I'll give you one for each.
I got you. Did you know I work for the Moogle Mail? I need to go finish that quest.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they refused, considering how their people suffer at the hands of the Skulls. But I hope we can remind them that deep down, we're all just people trying to survive, to protect our loved ones. We may have driven the Empire from our lands, but as long as we hold fast to the grudges born of their attempts to divide us and set us against one another, we'll never be free of their legacy of cruelty. With that in mind, I've included an account of my experience with the Silver Griffins and the people I've met. Victims, collaborators, their friends and their family, men and women who lived through it all, survivors. Even if they refuse to join the ceremony, at least they will know and hopefully understand our reasons for holding the event. Granted, I've not had much practice in writing important letters, but I think they'll get the message.
You being the one to deliver them will make a world of difference, I'm sure. Take care, won't you?
If I'm not mistaken, he wants me to visit the cat people and the snake people. Yeah, so we'll go to cats first. Meow. Honestly, I think Catboy is sometime in my future. I think I'd like to try out being a Catboy. I like their stance. I kind of like how they stand more than some of the other races. Like the Ellison are great, but they kind of lope. They're kind of like long-legged drafts. And then they stand and their feet are like pointed out, and that bothers me.
Greetings, friend. It has been too long since last we spoke. What brings you to my village?
I helped him like reconcile with his son. That was actually a good quest. That was fun. I think that was actually part of the Beast Tribe quest over here.
So the rumors are true. I need not read this letter in full to know its contents. I understand that
Well, that's just disrespectful. Read the whole freaking letter.
I understand that Ragnarfrid's volunteers are working to support the families of those lost in the war, which few will deny is a worthy cause, but to include the relatives of the Crania Lupi. The Skulls watched the Empire slay us in the thousands, and still they turned their cloaks and fought for the oppressors. And you would ask us to mourn the deaths of these curs alongside their victims.
I ask only that you read the rest of the letter. Right? You have every right to be angry and refuse. Arnveld wishes only to see that you read his account before coming to a decision. To dismiss it out of hand would be discourteous. Very well. It's exactly what I said. Don't be rude. Read the frickin' letter. I handed you a letter and you're like, I don't need to read it. I already know what it says. You didn't. You didn't know what it said. Family. I mean, you should know all about family, Mr. Nunn.
As none my tribe is my family, and I know all too well the responsibility that brings. I would do anything to protect them. Anything. All right, loyalty, pride, conscience, my very soul, all are meaningless if I cannot ensure the safety of those I love. I suspected some Skulls had been faced with the self-same choice, but to see how their kin suffered, I cannot say I do not understand, though I wish that I did not. Their crimes will never be forgiven. They cannot be. But I and the others who are willing can offer our prayers for these tortured souls and the men they could have been.
I approve. She's really in charge. We just found out who the real leader is.
I accept the invitation, not on behalf of the Mi tribe, but as Mraz Nun, though I will put the question to my people that they may decide for themselves. I'm also eager to make the acquaintance of the person who wrote this letter. He is not one to turn a blind eye to the bitter truth. Painful though it is to confront, the meeting will be the perfect opportunity to take his measure.
He's a pretty good guy. I think you guys will like him. He's got like the well-intention of Alfino, but like the consideration that, you know, what he's doing may not be the best thing, but he's trying. He doesn't have the arrogance that Alfino kind of had with some of the stuff that he sets up, which, you know what, was part of Alfino's arc, so I get it, but... Remember the Crystal Waves? Never forget.
Welcome. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
Here's a letter.
Then it is as I suspected. There have been rumors that such a ceremony would take place, although you have traveled far to make this invitation. I must decline. We cannot mourn the loss of the fallen in the Crania Lupi, are not to be counted among them. Like the Quilana, those chose to aid the Guardian's oppressors, killing and bleeding for those who would pillage our lands. Cowards and traitors, all. And we are to assume that the Quilana who died fighting for the Empire will be honored as well. If so, that is all the more reason for us to refuse.
So, like, that's cool and all, but I'm gonna make you an offer that you can now refuse. That is your right, and no one will say otherwise. I come only to present the letter and ask you for to read it in full. Arnveld understands and accepts that you might refuse. His only request was that you read his account, and then decide. People just suck at reading full letters, I guess.
If you insist.
Stop slithering in my ear.
No one was spared suffering in the occupation. Not the resistance, not the collaborators, not the families of both. No one. That so many would die in shame and ignominy. Ignominy, but having sold their souls only to lose everything is a tragedy and a lesson. If they are forgotten, then the lesson of their follies is forgotten. For the sake of this land we call home, I will join you in remembrance and implore my people to do the same. In mourning, may we strengthen our ties with our neighbors as well. By together facing our past, we can build a foundation for lasting peace and prosperity. It would be my honor to attend the proposed meeting, and I look forward to personally thanking your friend Arnveld for his dedication. I and my peers have much to learn from the example he has set.
Really laying it on thick with this dirty snake lady. Never trust him. All right, Arnveld, it worked. Guaranteed 2 people at least.
So how did you fare in the fringe?
The snake voice just stuck.
So how did you fare in the fringes? Stupendously.
They said that about me. It's rare for me to get such glowing praise, especially from renowned leaders like Sarisha and Raz Noon. Noon. More importantly, though, they agreed to attend the meeting, and I've got you to thank for that. After all, I imagine it's hard to turn down an invitation when it's hand-delivered by the Warrior of Light himself. They did. They both turned it down. I had to make them fully read it. Before I get ahead of myself, though, I must remember that this is only the beginning. Bringing everyone together is one thing. Coming to an agreement on an extremely divisive issue is a different kettle of fish entirely, as her grace was quick to point out. But as she taught me, if our cause is just and our hearts are true, those of like mind will surely answer the call. And answer it they have. Well, there are bound to be differences of opinion. I'm sure there's nothing we can't overcome if we put our minds to it. To that end, I was hoping you could join us. If you've the time to spare, there are still a few loose ends Ragafrind and I need to tie up beforehand, so we'll meet you in the palace as soon as we can. Just having you there will make a world of difference. Where's the night music? There it is. Okay, cool. It literally was just waiting for me to say something.
Here for the meeting, yes?
Send me in. Look at all these people.
So, well, we all agree upon the importance of the ceremony. We recognize that the inclusion of the Crania Lupi will be distressing for many. I, too, lost family at their hands, and I would never ask others to forgive and forget. But for all their crimes, they are Alamegans just like us.
See, I'm telling you, that old man voice just makes me so tired.
None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly. He also looks tired. This guy looks like he needs a nap, right? Like,
I had a choice and they chose to betray us.
who among us have not made difficult choices for kith and kin? Do not forget that Fordola chose to stand between us and a primal.
What does that have to do with it?
Brothers and sisters arguing will avail us not. The fate of Alamigo rests on my shoulders and yours, on those of every man, woman, and child that calls these lands home. To uphold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones, we all know the weight of these responsibilities. It was that self-same weight which drove many of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was. And though they chose a different, unconscionable path, in the end, we all wanted the same thing: to deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day, because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all.
I think I'll switch Fordola out for Raban. This has really been his expansion, or his questline.
The regretful dead are survived by their despair, a despair which threads to drag us all into the abyss from where there is no escape. Know that it surely will, if we welcome it into our hearts, out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. But we Alamegans will not be so easily defeated. We will stand united and conquer this menace.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Every Alamegan who fought and died did so in the hopes that one day we would be free. And we are free. We are free. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we are free. Free to lock away their pain and pretend it has no power over us until it festers and takes us in our beds. And free to lay it bare and to let it breathe. To acknowledge and to mourn our people at their best and their worst. The past is ours to bear, all of it, for ourselves, for future generations, so that they needn't suffer like we did. Let us make Alamigo a nation where no man is left behind, where you can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded the chance to make a right one.
I think they like it. I think they agree. I think they're down for this. Though it's kind of funny, Raban gave his gung-ho speech, and then Arnveld was like, I can do that.
Ramon, that went better than any of us could have hoped for. You have my gratitude for your part in the proceedings, but we both know who's the real hero of the day was. This was all Arnveld's idea, and it was his words that finally won over the naysayers. Now that we have the community leaders on our side, we should have a much easier time convincing the rest of the citizenry. Of course, holding a ceremony is by no means our final objective. No matter what we say, some will refuse to attend. It is my hope, however, that it will still serve to provide a measure of closure for us all, and to ease the plight of the vulnerable and the ostracized. Speaking of which, you will recall the incident with Fordola and Alagana.
Unless I guess we switched to Fordola here.
The young girl she saved, and her mother wished to thank her personally. Considering what happened last time, though, I have reservations. It would be a valuable opportunity to present a former skull in a more positive light. On the other hand, I don't need to tell you how unpredictable she can be. And that's before taking her echo into consideration. But that's a conversation for another day. Go and get some rest. You've earned it.
Yippee! We made it to level 89. Okay. I guess we keep taking the XP, because why not? How close is my astroload? It's like halfway. Yeah, we'll continue to take this XP. I gotta remember to go get the new armor at the end. Raise my armor level. Oh, should I get it now? It would actually be better. We're gonna run over and grab it real quick. We're going to Old Charlian and then back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, not Monago. I'm almost at 9 million gil. I just need to do some more dailies.
Hey, Taru! Taru, I need some new armor, Taru.
Hello, I get my armor for free. Yeah. The Didax visor, the Didax coat, the Didax gloves, the Didax gaskins, the Didax boots. Now we're a Didact. Go ahead and equip those. Since you already have like a... I think he has like a... Yeah. Okay, and then back to Girabanya. The Alamigan Kota. Wait, is anybody else? Did I get anybody else to 89 while I was here? Dark Knight. He looks to already be wearing it, so I must have done that already. Yeah, okay. Take care of that later. The Alamigan Kota. The Sage outfit's alright. I'm kind of excited to be able to dye it. Also, it probably looks really good on like a Wallafell or something. It looks decent. On it's better than the previous Sage outfits. I'll give it that much. Ma'am? Ariel, what are you looking at? You're concerning me. Come, Greg. Also, I didn't even look at these. Yeah, the blades. Those look good. 2 more quests. Trail of Skulls. The Blasphemy Hunter may seem calm and collected from a distance, but you suspect something is amiss. I wonder what's amiss. Something terrible has happened. It's Fordola. She escaped. Escaped? She was accompanying a squadron out on the training exercise. One moment she was there, and the next, she was gone. I didn't think much of it at the time, but she's been acting strangely ever since we went to meet that mother and child, you know, the ones who wanted to thank her for saving the girl's life. When I told Commander Alden about it, he went charging off to the Alagana to ask them if they have any idea where Fordola might be. I thought about going after him, but when I heard you were headed this way, I reckon it'd be better to send you in my stead. Godspeed, Ruach. She's like, I could have done it, but like, I knew you were coming, and you're kind of the problem solver, so I figured we just have you go. Okay. Sounds about right. Is it up there? No. Come, Greg. Did you guys find him? No, she's not here. That's not good. That's not good.
Ruach, I wasn't expecting to see you here. You've heard what's happened then? Just as Fordola was beginning to earn our trust, she's given us the slip. As you may know, she wears a choker enchanted to prevent exactly that. If I were to give the order, she would be dead within moments. She knows that. She took the risk anyway. So I have to believe she has a good reason. That's what we're looking into now. We were hoping Clarel and young Lyria could shed some light on the matter. We'd like to ask you about the conversation with Fordola, if we may.
Yes, of course. I know she's the butcher, or was at least, but it didn't seem right to go without thanking her. That's why I requested the meeting, to express my gratitude and my apologies. She was quiet at first, just stood there as we spoke, as if she weren't even listening. Then I mentioned the blasphemy, and she looked at Lily, and all of a sudden clutched her own head and cried out in agony.
Oh.
The Echo. Can you remember what you were thinking about at the time?
I was thinking about ponies and like unicorns and like a man, the one I saw in the city, the one that changed right in front of me. That, you know, what? Who did you have something to do with those people panicking? Yeah, no, it's the guy that literally was in front of everyone and transformed.
Or she imagined the person that changed in the city, and that's who we're looking for.
I think he did. When I was waiting for you, I saw him. He was by himself. I was seeing if he had an iPad charger. I wanted to play Angry Birds. He looked poorly, so I asked him if he was alright, and he said yes. He had a nice smile. I said, "Do you have any games on your phone?" He said no, and then he started changing. He got up and started walking, but then... I guess he didn't have an iPad charger, or maybe his iPad wasn't charged. He was shouting and screaming. I was so frightened I didn't want to talk about it, not even to Mum. I wish you'd said something sooner. I'm sorry, Poppet. This is my fault for leaving you on your own. No, it's okay, Mama. Like, I was just looking for a charger.
The man who turned into a blasphemy, I'd wager. The girl saw him, which means Fordola has now seen him too.
There was one other thing. When Fordola was having her, funny turn, she said something. Charlie? No. Charlotte, I think. Yes, that was it.
Ring any bells? Can't say it does, but if he has anything to do with the skulls, the Silver Griffins should have some information on him. We'd best have a word with Ragnfrid then.
Oh, that guy makes me sleepy.
You've both been very helpful. I'd also like to thank you for being so kind to Fordola. She may not have said it, but I'm sure it meant a lot to her.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of things I'd like to ask, so I'll catch up with you later. So I spend a lot of time sitting in this chair. What's this iPad thing you speak of? Is this a... Does it move down on my eyes or not? It do. Yeah, we're doing it. We're rocking the laser eye. Come, Greg.
I'm already yawning in preparation for this guy. Get some oxygen.
Oh, I don't know if I got enough. Ah, Charlotte, you say? Yes. That name came upon during our recent investigations. I'm trying to remember. As I recall, he served under the Viceroy during the occupation, and his whereabouts is currently unknown. Had an older brother named Ansefrid, one of the Cranialupi.
Which would give him a connection to Fordola. Is there anyone who can tell us more than about him?
Yes, an uncle who was recently helped find employment here in Alagana. He's actually the one who asked us to look after Charlotte.
You most likely find him working at the Sleeping Stones. As it happens, I was planning to bring him something to eat. I'll join you there shortly.
What if the laser eye was small iPads for the eyes? You mean just like the Google glasses? That's what that would be. Honestly, if anybody had Google glasses in this universe, it would be the Charlians. Like, Sage would be using Google glasses to, like, analyze stuff. Like, that's how it would be. All the way over there. Let's fly my motorcycle. Oh yeah, I gotta buy an emote. I forgot about that. I didn't buy my emote yet. I owe Yoshi P an emote. That was like some of the funniest shit ever. I haven't even been able to tell Dorbay about it because he's been busy. He's probably finishing the book tape that we were listening to, which pisses me off because I've been ahead of him the whole time. Ooh, lookout point. The hidden tear. Departed backed by the waterfall whose constant roaring muffles one's sobs, and whose spraying hides one's tears. Under imperial rule, however, religious rites were outlawed. For a long time, people could not even hold the simplest service to remember loved ones. Savage. I like to think that the eye thing is more like Cyclops' eyes or something, like I could laser beam with it. Ribbon!
Perhaps we should have asked what he looks like.
Yeah, probably would have been a good idea. He even walks like an old man. Still looking, eh? That's him over there. Wow, he looks like every other random NPC.
I hope we're not interrupting.
No, of course not. It's good to see you, Ragnfrid. My word, the Bull of Alamigo and the Champion of the Alliance. What brings such esteemed guests to our humble, quarry? At ease, my good fellow. We merely wish to ask you about your nephew. Oh, Charlotte. You found him?
No, we're actually afraid he's going to turn into a big monster. In fact, did turn into a big monster.
No luck then, then.
Is there anything else you can tell us? More about his childhood, perhaps?
Wasn't much of one, I'm afraid. Poor boy's life was ruined long before he had any say in the matter. His parents and I swore allegiance to Garlemald to secure ourselves and our kin citizenship. For all the good it did us here, living amongst our countrymen who treated us as pariahs. Though it stole on him and his brother to be spat on as traitors by association, one thing led to another, and Hansfrid, together with most of his friends, joined the Imperial Army. That's how it started, you know. The Granny Lupi, Gaius's loyal little pups. Do you remember the names of the friends? Yep, and they had quite a reputation growing up. There was Emmeline, Rudolph, an angry little girl who'd grow up to become the butcher herself, Fordola.
Oh, no. No! Oh, this is just going to be trauma central for Fordola. She's like, I wonder where that boy was so that I can tell him everything's okay now. And the boy's like, I turned into a monster because my brother died.
Charlotte was part of the group too, yes? But from what we've heard, he chose not to become a soldier. Wouldn't have lasted a day in training. He knew the better than anyone, of course. Not that it helped him to feel any less guilty for turning his back on the others. He blamed himself for their deaths. for not stopping them when he had the chance. For not being strong enough to fight by their side. Maybe save them, maybe not. But he wasn't there, and he wished he had been. Then one day, he was gone. Wherever he is, I hope he's safe and well.
So do we. Thank you. The information you've shared should prove useful. And for you, I brought some food. Why don't you call it a day and go enjoy it with your family? We're about to break some news on you that he's turned into a hideous monster that we're going to have to go kill. And you'll never see him again. So he's pretty much done and dead. It also might cause trauma for Fordola, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Wait, what did you say?
Good, nothing. Go eat some dinner.
Okay.
Let him have the peace for now. Back to Alagana. I mean, is it peace that we know that his nephew turned into a monster and we're just not telling him, so he's like still stressing because he's like, maybe my nephew will come back. So like we're gonna wait till we kill it and then be like, yo, by the way. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Young people these days. People die. Get over it. Yeah, it's true. I turned 30 and now I'm just like, you know what? Young people whining about stuff. Bunch of youngins. Get off my lawn.
So not only was his brother a member of the Skulls, but Charlotte himself was a childhood friend of Fordola's.
I'm told he refused the support of the Silver Griffins as well. He's been trying to make his own way for some time now.
His brother and his friends died at the Specular Imperatrix, save for Fordola, and the gods only know how he felt about her after that.
Or how Fordola felt about Charlotte after seeing Lily's memory of him transforming into a blasphemy.
Brother of a man she's killed and a childhood friend besides. She thinks she's responsible for this. That's why she ran, to kill the beast.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm worried about her.
Fordola is a survivor and outcast herself. Exactly the sort of person the Silver Griffins are trying to support. You've seen for yourself the sacrifices she's willing to make. And if you can learn to feel sympathy for her, maybe others can too. I think we have enough information for the time being. Let's return to the city and plan our next move.
Yes, sir.
So one of the ads recently is World of Warcraft collab with D&D. Actually, interesting concept. I saw a couple things. Apparently, World of Warcraft is gonna do a collab with D&D, and also Star Wars is gonna do a collab with D&D. And like, I was already, because we're doing a fantasy setting D&D campaign right now. But one of my buddies wants to do a cyberpunk one. So I've been looking up some stuff on that, and I found like a good book that has a lot of information. But honestly, I would much rather do like a Star Wars D&D campaign. I think that'd be really fun. I think that could be a pretty good time. But also, I mean, World of Warcraft would be cool too.
Back in my day, I know people who died almost every day.
Listen, Ginger, you live in Australia. People die daily to giant spider attacks and kangaroo kicks. Okay? Here in civilization, it doesn't happen as often. Oh, start wars? I'm not sure if they won't do that. It was already announced, and they do want to do it. Because, like, I know they've, like... Listen, episodes 7, 8, and 9 don't exist. Same thing with that other show, freaking... Oh, the Acolyte. Some of that stuff, some of the Star Wars stuff, you just have to realize that Disney things, you know, Andor's really good. Andor is probably some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen. And apparently, I haven't watched that Darth Maul one yet, but apparently the Darth Maul one's pretty good too. And all their visions, their little short videos, those are pretty fun. But, like, there's some Star Wars that, in my mind, just, they don't exist. They're retconned. I don't need to see them. They're not part of my Star Wars. That's not my Star Wars. But I'm excited because there's a Star Wars game called Zero Company coming out. And if you like XCOM or any, like, strategy games like that, that's what it's supposed to be. And, like, it's supposed to be a little bit roguelite where, like, if guys die, you can't bring them back. So, I'm interested. And I know for a fact Dorbay is going to pick that up. He's a big Star Wars fan. Okay, Ruban.
I've assigned a few of my soldiers to assist the Silver Griffins in investigating Charlotte's background. With luck, we'll find him quickly, and then we can prepare for what must come after. We're all but certain Charlotte's the one who transformed into a blasphemy, and so there's not to be done but put him out of his misery. As for Fodola, I've put Manago and her troops in charge of tracking her. Once they've found her, they have my permission to lend whatever support they deem necessary. If it comes to it, I may ask you to join the search. Until such time, I ask that you take this opportunity to rest.
He gave me a fish. Thanks, bud. I think this is the level 91. I need a quick BRB before we set off onto this final quest. So I'm going to take a quick BRB, guys. And then I will be back to finish. Depend on if Disney's in charge. Well, see, that's the thing, Ginger. That's the scary part about this. Because you're right. If Disney meddles in it, it's going to be a problem. And not only that, D&D themselves already suck ass because they're owned by Hasbro. And Hasbro is just a bunch of assholes. So Disney plus Hasbro getting together on something is not great. I'm hopeful because I just want nice things and, you know, I'm an idiot. But I'm not thinking that it'll be interesting because both those companies are super greedy and super self-motivated right now. It's literally why Larian Studios, they were like, Larian, do you want to make us a Baldur's Gate 4? And Larian Studios said, no, we don't want to work with you guys anymore. It'll turn into like a D2 Star Wars crossover. What's a D2 Star Wars crossover? But I think the WoW one will be interesting. I need to play WoW. I haven't actually played it. But I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy XIV, so unless we... Destiny 2. Wait a second, did they do a Destiny 2... Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Destiny 2 Star Wars crossover. That had... Yeah, exactly, actually. That's a good comparison because Bungie has been screwing up so bad with Destiny 2 because they're just letting it die that when they did the Star Wars collab, it was just a straight money grab. So honestly, D&D Star Wars, they could kind of shortchange it. It's the same thing happening with Magic the Gathering. They're doing so many crossovers now that it feels like most of it doesn't have a lot of love and care put into like the making of the cards and the reprints, and instead they're just trying to grab money. So I get you. I get that concern. I am hopeful. I want nice things. Listen, none of it matters because Fallout New Vegas, the remaster, is coming, and that's all I've been waiting for all my life. I will be right back, and then we will finish this freaking quest. Alright, we're back. BRB down. Man, it is hot outside, guys. It's like freaking... It's you know what's funny? Is it's actually cold, like cooler. It's not colder. Definitely not cold. Cooler than yesterday. It's 91 right now, but that's only because there's a fire that started, and a lot of the sun's being covered by freaking ash. So, am I living in Australia? Did that happen to me, Ginger? Am I... I told you about the movie Apex. It's actually in Australia. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool movie. Listen, I'm just jealous. I wish I lived in Australia. I love Tame Impala. That's the qualification. And Kangaroo Jack. If you remember the movie Kangaroo Jack, let me know, because that Kangaroo Jack movie was a classic. All right. I think we're on the last quest. Yeah, it's definitely been a Raban thing. I don't know why I thought it was more Fordola. Freaking internet lied to me. I was trying to look it up without getting spoilers, so, you know. The Blasphemy Hunter is even more flustered than usual, and with good reason, the gift of mercy. I think when we turn it in, we'll have to switch to a level 90, but I should still be able to play Sage.
Thank goodness you're here, Commander. Alden needs to see you right away. Follow me.
Let's do it. Yes, you were hit by the Aussie bee. Wait a second. Is this the technology you've been hiding?
Keep it contained until I arrive, but do not engage if I can help it. Understand?
Looks like we found it.
That was Monago.
Monago! Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I got a crush on Monago. I like Monago. I miss her.
Her unit has found Fordola, or rather, she has found them.
In fact, I have Fordola on the Searchers Party's link pro. She wants a word with you.
Hello? You know this is a group chat, right?
This is urgent, so be quiet and listen. The Blasphemy, my friend, is right in front of us. I tracked him down, and when he spotted me, he started heading towards Specula Imperatoris. Look, Ruach, I need your help. Charlotte's not... He never wanted to hurt anyone, but this thing he's become is... I can't leave him like this. I've got to stop him, whatever it takes.
Wait till we get there. Do not engage, is that clear?
I'm on my way.
I can't tell her not to engage, because I would, like, honestly, like, she shouldn't, but, like, listen, I get it.
I owe you.
Monago!
This is Monago. Can you hear me? We've got the Blasphemy surround.
Monago?
Ah, it's on the move. Get ahead of it, but maintain distance. We need to... Fordola, what are you doing? Fordola!
There's no time to waste. I need our help.
Let's go. Let's ride. I'll do anything for Monago.
Anything.
Oh, it's a solo Hadouti. No! Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Astrologian is just as fun. I'm not doing it in this outfit. Or maybe I should. No, let's put on... Yeah, let's put on this one. All right, here we come.
Radiata and Alagiri are not that far from Speculum Imperatus. If we let the blasphemy slip through our fingers, it doesn't bear thinking about. And while Fordola is determined to slay it by her own hand, we cannot allow her recklessness to put the lives of the others in jeopardy. The time has come for action. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, I haven't played Astrologian in like a week and a half, so if not longer. I've been being a crayon-eating ninja for a while. Monago!
Hold the line for as long as you can. Commander Alden and the Warrior of Light will be here any moment. Stay strong.
Raboon! Raboon just kicked him in the friggin' knee. Let's go. What a badass. Sorry I'm late. Raboon's being a badass. You've done well. Leave the rest to us. I'm definitely changing the thumbnail. Like, I love you, Fordola, but come on. Yes, sir. Autobots, roll out. That's what she said.
Coward, coward, traitor, damn traitor.
Okay, buddy. Oh, jeez. Getting a little bit of a headache. Has anybody got some, like, lemon wedges or something? I need some citrus. First we'll betray them, then we'll kill all of our own kind.
I wish there was another way.
No, this is how we have to do it. So do I, but fighting's the only thing I'm good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother.
I'm not that clever. I'm kind of stupid. Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going to battle, about getting hurt, about having to hurt other people.
I've got a chin that's literally the shape of a brick. He's a bleeding heart for sure, eh? Sooner befriend a fly than shoo it away, much less kill it.
I could kill it if I wanted, I could.
They're all laughing at him. But you don't, and there's no shame in that. Leave the soldiering to us, Charlotte. We'll show the Guardians what we're capable of. Get the power and respect we deserve, and then things will change. They will. You'll see. We've found a place for ourselves, and you'll find yours soon enough. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisting, meet back here tomorrow. Everybody but you, is what she was trying to say.
This looks very garlicky. In the end, what good did I do? I gave everything they had to give while I hid like a rat waiting for the storm to pass.
Well, you probably would have died.
Coward. Coward. Coward!
Hoo-ah! What a... What a weird thing.
Coward. Coward. Hoo-ah! Better dead. Better forgotten. Hoo-ah!
It's not your fault, Charlotte. It's not. You didn't do anything wrong, and I'm the coward, the traitor, the butcher. I'll always be the butcher. Don't you dare, Fordola! You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. That's right, Monago. You have a lifetime to make amends and atone. To become something more than you were. If you die here, you are everything they say. Everything you believe. Preach it, Monago. Is that what you want? She's not going anywhere. Who's this? I'm a terrible person. That was really funny. Onveld, why are you here? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. He made me push him all this way. I've seen your past, Charlotte. How you were left behind while your friends rushed into battle. Charlotte's, guys, he's gone. I don't know how it's talking. He's gone. It's pretty hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately with every fiber of your being. Knowing that you should. should be able to. You should, but you can't. So you find another way to support them. Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them, even if it didn't feel like it. But you were, Charlotte. You were.
Yeah.
As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. The history of Alamigo is writ in blood. While we cannot change the past, we can change the future. And for that, we must all play our part. All of us. What a badass. Let us grant Charlet the peace he deserves. You too, Fodola. Send in Arnveld, he can take out the ankles. Get the 4-foot hoops out. He plays a mean game of ball. It's terrible. I need Dorbay here, otherwise I feel like I'm a terrible person. I need to know that he's worse than I am. Ansfred, Emmeline, one day we'll be together again. But not yet. You never hurt anyone, Charlet. That's not who you are. You'll be remembered as a kind soul you always were. We haven't told your uncle yet, but he's probably going to be pretty bummed about it. I'm counting on you. Yeah, it's fine. I can do the Heelys. I got some good buttons. Alright, how do you play Astrologian? First time playing, guys. Level 90 Astrologian.
As one!
Okay, looks like we got a DPS and a tank. Keep me in the fight. Can we do this quickly, guys? I can't see his health bar. Rubon taking damage. Oops. There we go. Woo! Beat a little. Leviathan Irreduce? What are these? What are these? Don't go near. Oh, don't go near those. Oh, jeez. All right. It's time we do some damage. Oh, I should have used my other card now. No. There we go. I've not used some of this stuff yet. Like, what does the clock do? I'm not quite sure. We're switching sides now? Yep, and then we gotta use Crota 1. See that I do that, like what did that do? I don't know. Like, level 90 Astrologian gave me a bunch of buttons. I don't know what that button does, but I'm clicking it. Oh, we're moving over here. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I screwed up. Oh, shit. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Nah, I'm not going to make it out of this one. Ouch. Ouch. But I didn't take any damage? Did he guard me?
Show them what we're made of!
Love you. But
Alamigo!
I like this one. This one gives me little planets. No, target him. Man, my only problem with solo duties for healers is, like, the targeting is difficult. Does that spell only last as long as I hold it? I thought it was a certain amount. Yeah, it's still. I got lucky. Even then, it wasn't very lucky. Woo! Do that. Throw my cards. I'm sorry for dollar. I'm sorry for dollar. This one. Rueful outburst. Get behind me.
Raw to Zona! Raw to Zona!
You quit that. Yeah, freaking get him, Ferdola. Let's go. That was sick. That was so cool. Okay, so that's the one where all the stars come out at the top is the earthly star. Let it take for 10 seconds to power up. Okay. Yeah, for those power-up ones, do you try and, like, wait till the last second before you, like... I'm guessing that, yeah.
Flashback time.
I mean, there's enough healing buttons on Astrologian right now that it's pretty solid. Like, I usually have options. That's kind of why I like Astrologian the best so far. Same with Sage. Like, those two jobs, more than the other two, have options. I need to play Scholar again, but I feel like Scholar's lost a lot of its options, like I said. Or at least I just need to know them better. It's been a minute. White Mage is just honestly boring compared to the other healers. Oh, Ferdola had her moment. And I didn't get a screenshot. My bad, Ferdola. Thank you. I mean it. No problem. She's like, God damn it, I gotta talk to Arnvold. High five? Yeah! Hell yeah. Urban, why are you teleporting? Monago, are you hurt? I can heal you. Monago? Yippee! Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down. I know. Warrior of Light here. You're my hero, Ferdola. I've been looking everywhere for you. I've been wondering, do you have an iPad charger? Everybody here has USB-C. Have you now? Snaps kid's neck. Oh! Damn. Alright, well, I guess the garlic's still in her. You can use them preemptively and then time it for the right as damage goes out. Alright. There's some things going on that I just want to be better at on, I gotta, at least for healer. That's like the one job that I've kind of neglected figuring out my rotation in the most. I guess there's not much of a rotation if you're just healing and putting that thing on there and then you put in your other heals, I guess. But there is buffs and stuff. That's why Astrology is interesting, because it's got all the buffs.
We put down the last remaining beast spawned by the blasphemy. 'Tis a pity we could do naught for those who turned, but that we were able to prevent further casualties is nothing short of a miracle. It's astonishing, too, looking back on Charlotte's case. Although his existence spurred others to transform, he never attacked any settlements or travelers. Even when he underwent the change in the middle of the crowded street, those who were present escaped with minor injuries at worst. I think that deep down, his compassion is what kept the raging blasphemy at bay. The only time he emerged from hiding was the journey to the place where his brother died. Aye, it's clear he still retains some semblance of his former self. Another victim of the Empire's terrible legacy, along with his friends and so many others. But the Crania Lupi wasn't the creation of the Imperials alone. Many of those youths sought a place with them because they were denied one with us. That's why the memorial ceremony is so important. It's our chance to face our past together, to give them in death what we couldn't in life. Do not deny anyone a place in memory, even if it hurts and makes us feel ashamed.
You'll be attending, won't you?
I have been ordered to, so I suppose not. I haven't been ordered to, so I suppose not.
In light of your leal service to Alamigo, I intend to have the conditions by which you are bound eased. Providing I'm able to obtain approval, you will be granted a degree of freedom. At the very least, we should soon have no need for the choker.
There'll be no objections from me. You've done well.
If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were smiling.
Ah!
Well, I, for one, couldn't be happier with the efforts are being recognized. It gives me that much more motivation to continue my work with the Silver Griffins and bring the people of Alamigo closer together. Got to do my best to keep up with a certain little lordling,
Yeah, you could try. The dude literally brought together an entire world. You're a little behind.
I think we've done enough for one day. Time we got some rest.
All right. You're my hero. I want to join the Empire and betray my countrymen. Just like you. I admire you so much.
Allow me, as both the guardian of Alamigo and as your sworn comrade, to express my thanks for coming to our aid in these desperate times. No matter what manner of disaster may befall us, your presence alone is enough to keep the flame of hope burning bright. Even someone at the very precipice of despair, such as Fordola, can find salvation in your guiding light.
Laying it on a bit thick, aren't you? Heaven forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. You're something of an immortal flame yourself.
Bah! Been waiting for a chance to use that one, haven't you? I like to think I can still pull my weight on and off the battlefield, but that might be a bit generous. In any case, it's safe to say we've all benefited enormously from your sterling work here. We couldn't ask for a better healer or a better friend. Our ambassador at Rodzetton will be relieved to learn of your success here. If you happen to cross paths, give him my regards, would you?
Yeah, I got you. All right, all the way back to Radzidhan. Wow, that one went quicker than the other ones, and the battle was really easy, honestly. Like, I was worried that not knowing my buttons would be a problem, but I think healers at this level have so many options that, like, a solo duty's kind of, like, they're going to have to really throw something dirty at me to stop me from succeeding. Man, I am so excited to explore this area eventually. Like, you know, months from now.
Greetings, how goes it in Alamigo?
We won. It's over.
Eliminated Blasphemies helping organize a memorial ceremony. They've certainly kept you busy.
A fine example of going above and beyond the call of duty. I'll be sure to send word to our exploits to Oldar. Wait till the Sultana hears about this.
Her Grace will not be the only one to welcome this news. On behalf of the Grand Company of Eorzea and all allies, allow me to express my most heartfelt gratitude.
You can now dye the job-specific gear for level 90 healers.
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Okay, did I accidentally cast this? All right, let's see what it looks like. Actually, question real quick. I'm assuming some of you know the answer to this. Do you see here how for the healer, there's 2 dye slots? So I can click dye, and then I could say this one I want to be red, and this one I want to be green, right? Or whatever, right? You can kind of do that. For some reason, the Dragoon has 1. Like, I don't get why the Dragoon only gets 1 when, I mean, the weapon has 2. And, like, if you look at, like, Warrior, it's gonna have 2. But then you look at, like, I don't know, is Ninja, okay, Ninja's 88, so I can't quite see it. But, like, you see what I mean? It doesn't have the 2. Some gear has 1 and the others have 2. But why? That's bullcrap. I should have 2 colors for my Dragoon. I think you could make some really cool armor. Like, there's a lot of options here. I could probably do some cool stuff. Like, you could change the glow. You could change the under stuff. You could change, like, the in-between armors. There's, like, gray spots back here that I could totally make a different color. Like, I don't know. It just kind of bothers me that the melee DPS got shorted here. I mean, let's look at the Reaper. I don't think I have that stuff equipped, I guess. It's Tuesday. I totally forgot. But we have someplace to go real quick. For me, what makes White Mage fun is ideal usage of Aziz and Misery. I haven't played it in a minute, so I'll have to jump back and try and play it. Over time, Square Enix will add more gear for the double die. So you think they'll update that gear later and give it a second die? I just thought it was weird that, like, some of them at this level, like level 89 Apex gear has, you know, some of it has it and some of it doesn't. All right, Yoshi P, I'm probably going to lose today because I didn't buy that emote I promised you I'd buy yesterday. Love me, Yoshi P. Love me. All right, 897, I'll take that. Oops, should have just done that one. Hey! Oppa! That's 2 days in a row. Let's go, let's go. All right, one option. 72. You can't win them all. That was pretty good, though. Triple try cards? No. I want to sell triple try cards. Yeah, I don't need the Sahagin. Yeah, I don't need the Sagas. Alright, and then we gotta go to Idleshire, which, if you aren't irritated by the Idleshire music by now, I guarantee you will be sometime. Another emote, bud. Okay, I'll get... So the emote... I actually have an emote in mind, and it's that one where you, like, fall down dead. It's the new one. where like you like splat on the ground, and I loved how it looked for the Lalafell. So I'll pick that one up for me, and I'll pick it up for Dorbay, so that when we're Lalafells, we can just go around and like nose plow into the ground. Maybe it was until Dawn Trail for Double Die, so let's wait. Okay, you right. I can wait. I didn't realize that was a newer thing. Do I have too much? No, we're good. Also, this is so cool. Look at those wings. Look at this Aura Farm character. Badass. Yeah, give me a book. Oh, wait, I can't get it yet? Did I not turn in my book? It's Monday. I'm an idiot. I'm so used to streaming on Tuesdays that I thought it was book day. No! Foiled again. Foiled again. Well, I guess I'll have to work on my book tomorrow. But, yeah, sorry about switching up the stream, guys. I have to do some late night work. I got a client that's going, they're getting their business going on Wednesday, and I have to make sure that they're up and ready Tuesday night. And, of course, they're not going to give me what I need until late, if at all. So, we'll see what happens. But I had a good time. I thought the healer quest was actually pretty good. I'm not sure. Those wings are the final wings for Dawn Trail. Someday I will have them. Those are the final wings. I thought the final wings were like the 8-wing thing where you have like wings all the way around. But yeah. So the rest of the week, I do have it laid out for you guys. This Thursday. So tomorrow I'm busy. Wednesday's my D&D night. Thursday, we shall be doing the physical ranged DPS, which, if I'm not mistaken, is with Hien and Doma. So I'll probably be playing Machinist, because I don't think I have any of my other physical range DPS ready. So, and I don't really feel like I've been kind of not leveling those ones currently. I do wish I had Bard ready, and I guess maybe it'd be nice to see what Dancer level 90 is, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I've been working, I kind of did the reverse this time. I saved melee DPS last to get to 80, and so now I'm kind of doing melee DPS first to get to 90, because those are the jobs I enjoy the most. Because I like crayons and they taste good. The blue ones are especially tasty. But I hope you guys all liked the change in latency. And I hope you see that there's a couple shorts being posted consistently now. So we should have 3 a day from, most of you guys are there for those. But I hope you like those because I'm trying to make them funnier. I'm trying to like find some good parts. Other than that, I do plan on streaming again on Sunday. It probably won't be as long. And I promise we won't work on Relic. I'm thinking maybe we'll unlock some optional dungeons. I'm not sure how many optional dungeons there are, so I'll probably have to look that up. Maybe there's like 3 or 4 or something is what it was last time. I think it's 3. But those might be fun to do. So if you guys want to do some optional dungeons this coming Sunday, it'll probably be another like midday-ish stream. So if you want to be involved in that, we'll be there. But we still got Thursday before then. And I don't think I scheduled... Oh, Wednesday... Dorbay will be streaming unless something comes up. He told me that he would go home that day because he lives like 20 minutes away from where he's like house sitting, and he'll stream Thronebreaker. So if you want to come say hi, he should be playing some Gwen. He's gonna finish Thronebreaker and then he's gonna swap to some Final Fantasy XIV content, catch up some things. It might be boring because he might be doing a lot of crafting, but hey, maybe that's what we need. In the before times, there was a lot less gear that even had dye at all. They've been updating a lot of gear with each major patch. Okay. See, Sprout, didn't know that. Just kind of figured that we always had what we had, and I should know better. That they've been evolving. I mean, the amount of crap they've been adding to this game has been amazing. Like, I love the updates they're giving, and I think they're really bringing it to another generation of play for Final Fantasy XIV. So I'm excited for that. Cool. Well, I don't really have anything else for you. I should be playing, if you see me on, say hi. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Thursday. So thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for pretty much everything. You guys are amazing. Become the best you can be. Become, I guess we were a healer today, so become a healer main. Become a healer main! You gotta be angry about it. Believe it.